Time to fly, time to fly. Never give up, we won't retreat. The ones who stand up.
Hello friends, and welcome again to another Street Fighter Duel video.
Hey guys, welcome again to the channel. Now this time we're gonna continue with the Effigy battle and I'm gonna explain some lineups, but before that we're gonna go and do the Path of Trials. Now with the Path of Trials, the third page have opened and I've got some questions that people are asking me. How do we achieve this and what's the easiest lineup? Of course with retries you can do that, but if you want my advice I can tell you what I did to achieve all of the six stages and get the rewards. Now in the last stage there's a little bit cheeky way to win this fight. It's a little bit hard and confusing for some people because you can't use any attack or assassin on your lineup, also on your assist position, so you can't have them at all. No Bison, no Guile, no Viper, no Dalsim, no whatsoever. And you have only one unit that you can use here as a carry and another unit which is a sub carry if you didn't build him or if you're free to play or casual spender, and if you have one copy of him, and it's Gormagalakan. Now you can rent a Gormagalakan and it will make it so much easier, you will clear it so much faster. So if you have any friends that have him at SS or SS as a mercenary, go and grab it. And I don't have it, so I'm using my S rank Ken. If he's A rank, A+, he works too. You need to stack on him just the gears so his attack deals more damage with the curse. And we're using Fashion Blanca because of he's a carry. He's the only carry which outside the assassin and the attack fighters, and he will help us. I'm using Honda here for stuns with his C1, and in the late, after I killed everybody and there's like one unit is surviving, I can use the C1 of Elena and the C3 of Honda. You can't use on the assist positions any of the assassin or attack class, so I'm using Zangief on Gormagala to give him the soul damage resistance against Evil Ryu, because there's an Evil Ryu against us and there's a Sagat against us, and there's also Rose which she inflicts soul damage. Now you can use any kind of fighter, like you can use Blanca. I was using Rose, but you can use Blanca to complete this and get all the Thunder faction, and you can have one faction which is the Infernal, which is Ken, and it will give you the speed or the defense. It will give you the defense bonus by 15%, and this is amazing. Now you need to pay attention. You need to use on Gormagala Ken or one of your lineup Fashion Blanca, but I wish you use it on Gormagala Ken, because if he's not built for you, he's the one to have it, and it will be beneficial for the entire team. You need one fast chant on anybody on the lineup, and this is how the lineup goes. So as soon as you get the combo meter, you start with Fashion Blanca. You will be less speed, but you can start. We start with Fashion Blanca and we wait until Evil Ryu. We drop the stun and we interrupt him, and then we continue with the C2 of Fashion Blanca, and Ken will deal his damage by passive. He's gonna trigger and hit them, and as you see, Evil Ryu was burning so much quicker. You can use this and stun him again. We can't continue, so we're gonna just hit with Elena. We couldn't interrupt him because the interruption didn't land. We can heal a little bit for him not to die. Oh, they continued. So Elena passive proc. We can do this and continue our fight. As you see, we didn't achieve the stuns, so we wiped. We try it again. It took me like 5 retries for this to work, so it doesn't matter. Don't feel like if it didn't work from the first try, oh, the world have ended. No, you can retry more and more. And again, he starts, I stun him. After I stun him, I continue with Fashion Blanca, and Ken will hit a little bit. And when he inflicts his curse, everybody will start dying. As you see, Evil Ryu was burning, and this is what we needed to do. If you could land the charm, here we go. The charm was landed. We stun again. We couldn't continue, but here we go. And Evil Ryu is dying because of Gormagala Ken and because of the burn, and he died. We can continue like this, and they will start. We hit EX, we stun. Didn't stun quite fine, but that's okay. As you see, we're still dealing the damage. And we use every heals. I didn't use Virgil EX here. There's no need for me to use it actually. They have poison on her Crescent Wave. Can we stun him? Finally interrupted. more damage to them. And then the last fighters are these. Hopefully they die. They're a pain in the butt, but here we go. And this is how we achieve it. Just with a couple of retries, some stuns from Honda, successful runs, and you're gonna complete the entire fight. As you see, we used Elena one time with her C2. We can use her for the C1 and continue with the Honda with the C3, but I decided to continue it. This is how easy it is when you do this setup. This is 100% successful setup. It works every time. It worked for my friends who I told them and gave them the advice, and you will continue it. And actually it gives you everything except the 4 masters. If you want to retry and do this stage, the 4 master Infernal, use Fashion Blanca, Bison, Evil Ryu, whatever you want to use, and you will achieve it. Now in the second stage, there's something that also somebody were asking me. Here you need to kill a unit with your attack position. Kill 3 units with your attack position. So again, we're gonna use this setup. Bison, Rose, Elena. Because Rose and Elena doesn't do anything, so you kill everybody else without anything. And you need a tank that is a level 1. So I chose Thunder, and I chose any kind of tank, or you need this guy. He tanks. Why? Because I want to continue this, and I can use anything else. Like I can use here Zangief, and I can use E-Honda, so it gives me the full buffs for the entire factions, and plus I get the speed. Now I think I have, yeah, Shelter. You need to remove the Shelter if you want to continue, and let's give her healings. Why I need to remove the Shelter? Because my Sagat will be protected if I have Shelter, and he will not die immediately. I want him to die immediately so Bison can replace him and jump into the fray. So let's go here, and as the battle starts, he takes 1 hit and he dies, hopefully. Yep, here we go, and we have Bison. Now, what I do here, I just let them go and try to do damage as much as possible. Here, Bison exploded. I try to charm. If it charms, it charms. Yeah, it did charm Honda. Honda took some damage. That would help me a little bit to bypass his immunity. Then I can go ham and drop any EX that you feel like it. It doesn't matter anymore. And here, Bison went in, got exploded. They're trying to kill Elena. Elena will not die. Plus I have healings. As you see, Bison jumped in again. And we have heals upon heals to the end of the days. Again, it doesn't matter who starts here. Yup, that's how it goes. And Bison did the most of the damage. He will explode, everybody dies. Now if you go and check the records, now you don't need to start with anybody else. You just start with Bison, end with Bison, and you check he dealt the most of the damage. Of course Rose here dealt a little bit of damage because her auto attack is good, and this is how you defeat them from tag position. You can use anybody else from tag position, any carry that could tank, but Bison, because he's immortal, this is how we do it. Now that was the fight. Now let's go to Effigy Clash. Now our Effigy is level 30. I want you to pay attention for this. Now, if we go and check the Effigy level, where can you check it? We click on it, I guess. Yeah. So, our Effigy level is maxed. You don't need to continue and upgrade this. This will not be so important in the late game. Now, if you want to go for high scores, yeah, continue and upgrade it. But what you need to focus is on these two. The PvP and the Helidom S, which will give you just for your Effigy. For if you go and fight other Effigies, it will be harder for them to kill yours if this is maxed. So drop your resources on these. As you see, it's maxed. Why I'm talking about maxed? So if you go here, you need to do all the 5 retries to get your rewards, and that's it. Don't go for the 10. It doesn't give you EXP anymore. It only gives you, I think here. It gives you on the individual EXP here. It gives you here, and you don't need to continue it. I mean, here the ranking here doesn't give you anything. You don't achieve anything from it. So it's just like flexing purposes if you want to continue here, but it doesn't matter anymore. If you maxed out and leveled it to plus 30, the only thing that you need is to do the 5 fights. The extra 10 fights, it's not important. And on my server, I'm doing well. Yes, I'm doing well. So as you see, as free to play, I'm ranking 5 right now. I didn't do my retries. I'll try to do more tries and do the 5. And if I get better score, it will be better for me. Ah, the rewards. Here we go. So, oh, this is everything. So it doesn't matter. It will give you glory prize. One of your guild need to be ranking in the top 10 or in the top 3, but in the top 10. It doesn't matter if it's in rank 1 to rank 10. One of your guild gets to the top 10. This will be distributed among all the guild members. So this is what we need to talk about it. Now this boss, Loki, is a little bit annoying. He has Hinder, he has Freeze, and he goes through immunities and kill everybody. And let me show you from here actually. So this is my first lineup, and it's the Viper and Guile team. Guile on this boss, they didn't increase in Effigy Clash. This boss, they didn't increase his defense. He stayed the same because he's still OP. He's one of the hardest boss in this Effigy Clash. So I'm using Eva Ryu. On him is Yan, and I'm using a Guile, and on him is Yang. You can put Yang on Viper or on Guile, whichever you want to go with. So my rotation is, for this start, I accumulate combo meter, then I start. My first rotation, I start with Eva Ryu, Sweet Poison, Viper, then Guile, only one time, just to accumulate stacks of a Satsui no Iki on my Eva Ryu. Then I start with Guile, Sweet Poison, Viper, Guile, and until the end of the battle, I start with Viper, Sweet Poison, Viper, and Guile. Now you can use Elena EX, Summer Elena EX move here. If you're frozen and in your middle of your combo, you can click it. They will be unfrozen because it dispels the frozen status when you are in the freeze. But it will not remove the freeze stacks on you. It's undispellable. So you need to use it, time it perfectly to use it. You can drop Eva Ryu and use Summer Elena here and put her in the back line, or you can put her here also instead of him. She will always, whenever she does her passive, she will dispel. Because you have two attackers using their super, she will remove the frozen status on them. Now for my second lineup, and it's the Witch Jury lineup that I showed you before, I was using Cammy. She deals a lot of damage. The Hinder is killing me. She can't reach the boss, and she takes a lot of time to do the attacks. So I decided to put Witch Jury. I have the same exact results, but this is more stable and more consistent for me. So I start with Jury, Elena, chun-li, then Jury, only for the first attack, because I go beyond 15 seconds and I gather the combo meter, and I have 3 cards on her. If you don't have 3 cards on her, you can't use a C3 for her, and she uses a C3 only once, which is good. It adds a lot of damage. So I start, my normal rotation is Witch Jury, Elena, Witch Jury, then Chun-li. Now I used to use Athlete Chun-li here, but because her C1 is super quick, I can't wait for her to get unfrozen. So I use her super, she gets frozen. Until the end of the rotation, I use the C1 of Elena, then the C2 of Witch Jury, then the C3 of Chun-li. Chun-li gives me more combo meter, Ken for the buffs and for the curse that he deals on the boss. And I use Abel on Chun-li to protect her with the shields from the auto attacks and from the frost breath, not the Hinder. The Hinder it goes through shields. Now the third lineup, and I don't have Flame Chun-li. If you have Flame Chun-li, this is perfect. You can play Flame Chun-li here. I start with Fashion Blanca immediately. I use C1 of Dalsim, C2 of Summer Yang, then C3 of Bison. Then I start and continue my whole rotation with Dalsim, Fashion Blanca, Summer Yang, then Dalsim until the end of the battle. I use the Summer Elena EX move just to protect me from death and continue everything else in the final. Protect me from frost, actually, not from death, and it gives a little bit of heals. I'm running healing and burn here, so this is how the fight goes. Now let's go and check the replays. So here we go. This is the teams that I've been using, and I didn't use them in the specific order that I showed you. Well, you can flex them however you want. I was trying to hit my highest number with this and this, then go with my last team, and it gave me this result, as you see. So Viper was the MVP here, and Guile added a little bit of damage. Dalsim was the MVP and Fashion Blanca helped. Chun-li and Witch Jury were the MVP here. So let's go with the first fight. And let's go for the X4 speed. Now as you see, I'm getting hit and hit. Every time I hit the boss, I get frost on myself. This is the hinder, the boost, the red boost on top of your units. When it's off, you can go and start your combo. I wait for the boss here to start and do his rotation, as you see. And I was using the Elena AX move here to unfreeze them all. So I start with Evil Ryu, Sweet Poison, Viper, then Guile. And then I go with Viper, Seed Poison, Viper, and Guile. And I continue this rotation. And as you see, if I get frozen by Viper or Guile, I would continue and use the Elena AX. I got frozen by Viper, I used the Elena AX, and I removed her frozen status. And then I continue. Before he does his hinder and kills me, I start with Guile here. I was panicking because I wanted to do the last hit before I die, and here we go. He wiped us, and I achieved the damage that I wanted. I use any EX that I could use in the end because it will add more damage and deal any combo that I can deal. And that was the first fight. Yeah, it looked lucky. I didn't get that much frozen. You need a lot of retries to do this. I literally did over 30 retries for this score. Now for the second fight, and this is the Dawson fight, and also I start immediately. So look at me. As Blanca want to hit the boss, I start and use his C2, his super, and I use the C1 of Dawson. Now he's standing on his leg, just to accumulate some damage and some penance. Then the C2 of Summer Yang, C3 of Bison. And then I start with Dalsim. Again, I use the C1 of Summer Yang because my... or the C1 of Bison, the C2 of Summer Yang, C3 of Dawson, because my Fashion Blanca was frozen. If somebody is frozen, you need to take your time with the combos, especially in this lineup, because it will not give you the most damage if everybody keeps getting frozen. So I start with Dawson, he's frozen, I use the C1 of Fashion Blanca, and I'm slowly using my skills, and then I use the skills to their point when everybody is unfrozen. And I use the heals here because they were low on HP, and if they get Hinder, everybody on my lineup will die. As you see, everybody who uses the skills are getting frozen, and by the end, Virgil EX didn't save me. It could save you from the breath here, but if they have Hinder, it wouldn't save you from Hinder. I failed to use it on Hinder because it kills them. As you see, my Fashion Blanca through his Virgil EX died. So Virgil EX is kinda useless here in this mode. I don't use it actually. I don't know why I used it here. On my runs, I will not use it. I will use something else actually. And the last lineup, I accumulate some combo meter again with Witch Jury, and I start with Witch Jury. Here I wasn't using Elena, but it was one of the worst results that I got on this team. When I use Elena, I get 1.2 billion. So I tell you, use Elena, it's better. I'm gonna retry and you're gonna see my games. With Elena, I'm surviving more, I'm dealing more damage. So here we go. I waited for 3.5 bars and then I started with Witch Jury. C1 and C2 of chun-li, the C3 from Witch Jury. And Witch Jury, she didn't get frozen, which is good, because most of the time when she does her super, she gets frozen, because her super does 10 attacks or 8 attacks or something like that. Again, this was a lucky run. And as you see, I'm not continuing my combos. Every time I do a combo, I get frozen. Another C1, I use the C2 of chun-li, so I couldn't use the C3. This is not the best rerun. If you looking for this run, if it's good or not, this was one of my worst runs, okay, for this lineup. And Elena proved to be very much better than this when I was using her. And again, I couldn't do damage, so I used my C2 from far away to deal damage to the boss. Yep. And this is how the fight ended. Now, it gave me a good result. Many are telling me it's super hard to get 3 billion damage. I'm lucky to have it, but I wouldn't care anymore. I don't care about the scores anymore because I have Tito on my guild, which is in rank 2, and even if I drop to about beyond rank 10, he's gonna still, with his 4 billion damage, he's gonna stay in the top 10 and will give us all the rewards. Don't stress about this. You don't have to rank in the top 1. I don't see anywhere that it gives you more rewards for the top 1 or anything. yeah, I can't see it. It doesn't show. I tried to see it even before I was recording the video. It doesn't say that you're gonna get any kind of rewards more than that what we get all from here. Season rewards, if you rank in the top 20, the guild from 1 to top 20, you'll get all of these rewards. Plus, top 3 ranks will get this frame. We didn't have it. And this one will get. And if you win a fight, you're gonna get these rewards, which also is awesome. If you have any questions, or if you have any inquiries or additions that you wanna put and tell me about your lineups and rotations, just let me know. And yeah, that was it for this video.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, we thank you for watching. And as always, stay frosty. Peace.
Time to fly, time to fly. Never give up.